Right guys, welcome to the channel. Another rig build today, and I'm going to do an up and over. There's a couple different variations of this. This is the one that I tend to use. It's quick, easy, it's relatively simple, but because of the way this rig's done, I am going to scale it right down to an unusable size, just so it fits on the screen. So to start off, we need two of these weight clips, but they have to have the kick out bit, and I'll show you and explain why as I'm going. We need toe beads, two swivels. These are SS power swivels from Limitless. If I can get the box open. So two of them. And obviously you need your line and your hook. I'll get the hook out later so it's not floating about. Start off with the main rig body, £60 greased weasel, but I am literally just going to take enough off to show you how to do this rig. Again, it's not going to be, well, it'll probably be usable, but I personally make it a lot bigger. My main body's normally about 3 foot, but to start it off we need one of the weight clips and we need a swivel. The swivel goes on to, if it goes, the weight clip as if it was a weight, so it goes on like that, and you tie the top of your line to the hoop of the weight clip, so technically it's upside down. This swivel goes to your main line, and obviously this line's then going to be your rig main body. So get that tied on, if my fingers will work. Sorry, these videos tend to be a bit of a shamble, but you'll get the gist. Well, I hope you do. So yeah, that's a wee bit of moisture. I shouldn't really bother bothering with that, just with it not being a usable rig, but I suppose it'll be good practice for anybody that's new to know that if you give it a wee bit of moisture, it saves the line heating up and giving you a weak spot. So yeah, that's your top of your rig. You've got your bait clip upside down with a swivel to go to your main line. You could go without this swivel and just hook your main line onto the weight clip. It's just a personal preference to have a swivel on there. So coming down, we need a bead. It's a bit like a pulley, but not all at the same time. You need a weight clip that just goes on through the hoop. Doesn't need tied, just goes on. That's for your weight to go on, but I'll explain that as I go. And then another bead. And what I'll do, I think I'll cut a bit off here to make it even smaller. Again, this is not going to be usable. You're going to want it a lot bigger. I normally do 3 foot rig body, and that gives you a 6 foot snood. And I'll explain that again in a wee while. So you tie that swivel on the opposite end, on the bottom, and that's for your hook snood to go on. So yeah, main rig body, you've got your swivel, weight clip upside down, tied at the top. You've got a bead, and then you've got a weight clip just put on through the top, and then another bead, and then your swivel to your snood. And what happens is you tie your snood on here, the weight goes here, you tie your snood on here, it comes up the length, clips in here, or sits on here, back down, and hooks into your weight. But I'll show you that as it's done. Snood, you're going to need about twice the length of your rig body, with it going up, over, and back down. I'll just cut a length off, and that goes on the swivel on the bottom. I hope you're understanding this and I'm not going too fast. Again, if there's any questions, just drop them in the comments. I could always do another video and send it to you rather than having to watch it on here. So yeah, a bit of moisture, clip that down. I always keep telling myself I should just bring scissors through for cutting this line, because these things are crap. They're alright for the thicker line, but the thinner line. So I want to hold that about here. No, I don't. I want to go to the other end and hold it about here. I want to come up, over, back down, and what I'll do is I will cut it about here. I know this is a bit higgledy-piggledy, but it will make sense when it's all together. So that's where we are so far. Rig body, and then your snood. Obviously, hook goes on this end. It's personal choice if you want to use single hook or if you want to use a pennel or whatever. I'm just using these size 2 Limitless Ultra XTs just for demonstration. Normally it would be a bit bigger. So that goes on. 2, 3, 4. Again, I have scaled this right down for the purpose of this video. Cutting it there. So your hook runs up to your swivel, and then you get your main rig body with a bead. Your weight hook for your weight's free running, a bit like a running ledger. Bead, weight clip, and then swivel. So this line comes up, over, this is the fiddly bit, and back down, and then your hook sits on this one. Right, let's see if I can do this. There we go. Or not. Right, sorry guys, bit of a tangle. Let's start that again. Your line comes up, over the top, and sits on the kick out part that would normally sit your hook on. I've made the hook snood a wee bit too small. Could have made it a bit longer. Your hook then clips into the free running weight clip. There we go, that's it. So that's your rig. From the top, you've got, again, I know I keep repeating myself, but I just want you to get the grasp of it. I'm not the best at explaining these sort of things, and obviously it's not the best way of showing somebody, but from the top, you've got your swivel upside down weight clip with the kick out, then obviously your bead, your other weight clip that's free running, bead, swivel, then your snood. And as you see, your snood goes from that swivel up to here, over the wee kick out bit, back down, and hooks into the free running weight clip, sorry. So again, when it gets casted out, this is a lot shorter than I would normally use. It gets casted out, hits the water, it releases from the bottom and the top. Your weight gets pinned to the bottom, and then you have a trace that'll be floating about, pinned to, it's not really floating about, but it is pinned to the bottom. Very good for the likes of your rays and stuff. I like this rig because you end up with this being twice the length of the actual body, so it gets a bit of a distance away from your weight, and it will, if the current and tide's strong enough, be dragged about and blown about the seabed. But yeah, I hope that's understandable. Again, I'll see if I can do this. Obviously, it's easier with a weight on it. I should have brought one in from the shed. Your weight's dangling there. This line comes up over the kick out and back down to this clip. If I can do this, there we go. No, didn't think so. Sorry guys, it is a bit fiddly when it's not connected to a rig and there's no weight and everything on it. But yeah, if I can get, oh, Jesus. Anyway, you've seen it connected, so I'll gee up. Right, I'll give it one more chance, one more try. You just stay on there. Sorry, talking to the hook as if it's a person. Right, pull it. There we go. So that's the way it is before you cast it out. Very streamlined, really nice rig to be fair. Works good on clean beaches. I'm not sure how well it works on rougher ground.